Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1599. I have been here 1599 days consecutively, every day, with holidays included, and vacation days included, and being on trips included, being in another state in Nevada at one point. I try to give you a inspiration to make yourself a great day with morsels of a thought of preferably wisdom. And when you know the right thing to do, it's called wisdom. I should write that down and stick it on somewhere. Blah. Okay, so knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and then actually doing it is virtue. Good morning. I see Michelle Morgan. Hi, how are you doing? I can only see one word, but I can't see your photo, but it did give me a little information. So I was able to see you. Yesterday I had missed somebody, and it was kind of hard to see until she put her name down in the bottom. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff covering my screen, and I wish I could get this to 4K, because in 4K this only does HD right now for StreamYard, but my equipment is capable of filming in 4K, which I'd like to do. Okay, so in Launch, How to Take Your Business to New Heights by Jen Du Plessis, America's Mortgage Mentor. She had a foreword by Michael J. Mayer, who wrote The 7 Levels of Communication. And she had a lot of quotes from Joan Callahan, Carla Williams, Eric Janesco, Tony Thompson, and Paul Olbrantz, and more. Uh, we are in chapter we are in a chapter, Are You Playing Offense or Defense? Chapter 3, section 6. And I'll read the quote again that they've got. It's an anonymous quote. Complacency, when you're busy, it's easy. It's easy to be complacent when you're busy. So the big idea, she says, is to use your day to play offense. Base your time compressed schedule around prospecting for new business. Okay, so I want to put my hair up here because I look bald. uh, uh, service your clients offensively. That's where we left off last time. If you get a call or email from a client or real estate agent asking you about the status of a loan, you lost the game. You are now on the defense to update and explain the status. These calls are negative and time consuming. They leave your clients wondering if they can trust or count on you. Worse yet, they may feel you are not accountable and therefore they need to hover over you the rest of the way to closing for fear of you dropping the ball. Offensive calls, on the other hand, create a positive response by all and put you in a position of strength. Anticipate your client's needs and questions. Touch base frequently, even if just to say hello and check in on their emotional state through the process. Every time you call and they see your name and number, it will create a deposit in their trust account. In this section, it also says, use your time for smart action. By now, you know how much I value, Lady Jen says. By now, you know how much value I place on using time efficiently and smartly. Using your time for smart action is a core strategy for advancing your mortgage practice by leaps and bounds. Discipline yourself to follow a plan for each day. That's a bullet point. Next, compress your work into time blocks and intentional intervals. Next, work with intensity and focus during those intervals. Next, play offense. And Jen's jots, there are 2 of them. Think about where you've prioritized your time over the past week. Have you spent more time and focus on transactions than on prospecting? Next, think about how you can flip your priorities so you're spending most of your time playing offense, finding new business. Interesting. Now, chapter 3, section 7, defining your role, question mark. The big idea, the finder, minder, and grinder, capital, roles are all important to the successful operation of your mortgage practice. It is you as the finder, capital F, who drives the growth and success of the business. Quote by Jen Du Plessis. If you want to be massively successful, get clean on why you're here with meaning, money, and fulfillment. Get clear on why you're here. To utilize your time to the best of your ability, i.e., working in your genius zone, capital G, capital Z, you must first identify the roles you will play. Let me ask you a serious question. What is the central, most important role you have in your practice? And here's the crucial follow-up question. Are you fulfilling that role? In my experience, I found that many loan officers haven't thought about those questions, and that's not good. If you don't really know what your first and foremost role is, you may spend a shortened career in mortgage lending, spinning your wheels, wasting crucial time, and never gaining the traction needed to reach your goals. Right now, in this year in our industry and these times of endless technological advancement, if you are standing still and doing nothing to advance your practice and life, you are moving backward and very fast. If you live in or know about an area of the country that has horrible traffic, this example will be perfect. I live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., the district, and with that comes traffic. If I leave my home at 6 a.m., I am sure to make it to a meeting in the district on time at 8 a.m. But if I leave just 15 minutes later, I won't make it until 9 a.m. Maybe. Traffic does slow, and we have the same issue in Silicon Valley in San Francisco, near San Francisco. It's the same in your career. If you don't leave now, make it. You may not make it in time. In my thoughts and observations over my now 34-year career in lending, and this was printed in 2018, I believe. Let me check just to make sure. This was printed. Anyway, it was about, I think it was 2018, so it would be 7 more than that. So she's been doing it for 41 years now. Wow. In my thoughts and observations over my now 41-year career in lending, I've developed and implemented 3 principal roles that people have in mortgage lending. Each of the 3 is vital to the efficiency and timely operation of a mortgage practice or any business for that matter. But only one of these roles sparks the growth and financial success of a practice. The first role is that of being a finder, capital F. Finder. In morsels of a thought, we want to gain wisdom in morsels. And Jen Du Plessis is giving us wisdom in launch, how to take your business to new heights. The first role is that of being a finder. The finder is the person who generates and finds the business and develops the relationships that lead to referrals. This is the role I play on my team. I refer to myself as a lead generation machine, LGM are capitalized. The second role is that of being the minder. The minder is the person who makes sure the loan transaction process runs smoothly and all parties involved can be kept up to date and communicated with. I call this person the maestro with a capital M. The third role is that of being the grinder. The grinder is the person who organizes the day-to-day business tasks, such as database management, outgoing lead generating phone calls, creating and printing flyers, putting seminar and class packages together, tending to the finder's schedule, event planning, expense reports and budgets, and more. This can either be one role or 2. When your practice is large enough, this will be the latter. This is my database manager, capital D, capital M, and my marketing director, capital M, capital D. Now, Some of you may be saying to yourself, gosh, I'm all three of those. And you well may be. But to be overwhelmingly successful in this industry, you can't be all three at one time. We all start at the same place, so it can be done. But my opinion is that it can't be done for any sustainable period of time if you want to close a lot of business. To have a growth mindset, you need to focus most of your time to put I'm eating green onions today or something. I don't know what it is. To have a growth I made that up. To have a growth mindset, you need to focus most your time and effort on finding business. Your goal, that was what she wrote. Your goal is to move the vast bulk of the minder and grinder roles into your team. Note, I do not refer to any of my team members as assistant, nor should you. No one wants to be handed off to someone of perceived lesser value. Your team members are your partners, managers, and directors. Hmm, interesting. We'll have a look at what it means to have a finder mindset, and we'll also take a deep dive into the daily things you must do to be a finder and discuss the vital aspect of finding business through referral partners. You can also view finding, minding, and grinding as attitudes or ways of thinking. These are process-related customer service building and customer service business building and activities that you must conduct as a minder. There are also basic maintenance activities in your business and life that you must pay attention to as the grinder. We'll look at each of these positions in the three sections that follow. You may also want to consider the requirement of each team member to read this book so they can be crystal clear on their role on your team. I'm packing 3 decades of practical experience into the following sections, now 4 decades. Experience that has enabled me to reach the top of my profession. Roles and mindset. Roles and mindset. Defining your role as a finder goes back to our discussion about developing a vision for your practice, formulating a business plan, and setting goals for what you want to achieve. It is easy to see how defining your role as the finder will be the determining factor for success or failure in achieving your vision and goals. I continually assess the highest and best use of my time. That's a good statement. Highest and best use. I continually assess the highest and best use of my time in order to refine and sharpen my role as the finder in my practice. That's something I hope you can also begin to do. Continually refining my role enables my team and me to be the most efficient we can be, and it enables us to serve our clients at very, very high levels of satisfaction. Okay, next section is on finder. I did not have any alcohol, but I sound like I did. Damn it. Shit. Sorry. Finder. As the finder, your sole role is to find, meet with, and develop strong business relationships with referral partners, clients, online lead aggregators, etc., who will provide leads or send referrals to your practice. It's also your job to conduct and attend seminars to gain momentum, expansion, and exposure for your practice, to hold client parties, business mixers, pop buys to partner and client offices and homes, to network, structure loans, present options to clients, or anything that will put money on the table, period. Minder. The minder is the person who makes sure that the loan process runs smoothly, who collects the documents from the borrower and reviews the documents. Your minder should be a really good loan processor or underwriter who is tired of talking to paper and wants to talk to people. This can also be a loan officer who is great with guidelines on the phone, but for one reason or another has never really been able to bring in business. The minder is the person who is managing all the transaction activities because, quite frankly, you can't serve your clients properly by spreading yourself too thin. You can't be meeting with a customer for a discovery meeting, for example, while getting pinged by phone calls and emails from other borrowers. So the minder needs to be the person who is scheduling appointments, who is managing your emails, and responding quickly to requests by borrowers while you are building your business and bringing in more loans. They are the operation manager, capital O, capital M, and orchestra conductor, capital O, capital C, in your practice. There isn't beautiful music if someone isn't overseeing everything. You might be in a position where you are a one-person show, have just one assistant helping you, and they are acting as both a minder and grinder, or the two of you are sharing the roles. Either way, if you have the capacity, please find another assistant immediately. An assistant will change your business dramatically. If you commit to consistent finder activities, you will need these people soon enough. I promise. Now, in Morsels of a Thought, doing the right thing is called virtue, and we will bring more virtue in the world with borrowed wisdom. Morsels of a Thought of wisdom will help you know what the right things to do are. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, and then doing it is called virtue. So we're in this book, Launch How to Bring Your Business to New Heights by Jen du Plessis. Grinder. Grinder. The grinder manages your precious database first and foremost, either in an administrative function or in a sales role. This person, if functioning in both roles, spends the first part of their day in the sales role, making outgoing lead generating, nurturing, and retention phone calls to partners and clients, and then spends the latter half of the day with database entry and management, putting together your mailers, managing expenses, administrative duties, or handling marketing efforts for your team. Virtually everything they do supports the finder's activities. You can also consider a part-time assistant by adding someone to your team for a few hours a day. The person is not going to be involved with loan files, but can perform peripheral duties that, like putting packages together for classes and presentations, or getting flyers produced, or posting for you on Facebook. Just a ton of things, really. Your time is worth much more than the $10 or $15 you'll have to pay a part-time person, so it will be worthwhile to shed those grinder duties. $10 or $15 is more like 25 to 35 nowadays, I think. My intuition tells me that, but I'm not an expert. So anyway, Jen's Jots. There are two, there are four, there are five. Ooh, well, there are two at the beginning. Each of the three roles, finder, minder, and grinder, is necessary for the successful operation of a mortgage practice. You can't be all three and hope to do it for very long. However, with good time compression habits, you will be able to enjoy the current production you have, even by functioning in all the roles. As the finder, you must grow your practice. That was next. Next, as the finder, you must grow your practice by bringing in business and developing relationships that generate referrals and leads. What is your role? Okay, so there are three roles here. Finder, CEO, is the CEO. They are called the rainmaker. They are called the gatekeeper, business development officer. A minder, COO, corporate operations officer. Process and operations. Transaction flow. Customer service. Those are also names. Now, Grinder is the CFO, corporate financial officer, does database management, administrative duties, and lead generation, nurturing, and retention. What is your role? So I'll read this one again because it is kind of highlighted, really. The finder, the CEO, corporate executive officer, is called the rainmaker and the gatekeeper and the business development officer. These are all capitalized letters, by the way, in this entire part. Minder, COO, corporate operations officer, is the process operations does process and operations, transaction flow, and customer service. The Grinder CFO, corporate financial officer, does database management, administrative duties, and lead generation, nurturing, and retention. Okay, next part is chapter 4, section 4. Finder. Can you read that? Yes. Good morning to whoever else is there. See, so I got so confused, so I had to hunt. Oh, thank you for finding me. Thank you. I am on House Cat Tracks in Facebook. I am on Yin Yang in Facebook, where you'd have to do morsels of a thought search for Yin Yang because there are like 10,000 Yin Yangs. So you'd have to message me, or if you already know my DM, then you can click on that and click on the word profile and it'll find me. Um, then I'm also on YouTube, and it's morsels of a thought and yin yang. But you can go to youtube.com/@ Ying Orange 99. It's a long name, but I created it in 1999. Ay, ay, ay. So, anyway, and I liked the word orange in there somehow. I just liked it. And then Ying is my name. So it's really my name, even though Yin Yang, people think Yin Yang is a, okay, we're going to come back to section 4 finder next week, the lead generation machine. Okay. But I will tell you that uh, I, I have a name. It's very long. It's Pei. Pei means commendation. Ying means luminescence. Mary Yang Wu. Yang is a tree. Wu is also a tree. There are different trees with those names in Chinese. The Yang tree in China was in Beijing. It was beautiful. It was like a very tall pine tree, taller than pine trees, and the leaves were like maple leaves, but they were very soft and flowing in the wind. They were very flexible and bigger. Bigger. They were just and rounded shaped looking. I had never seen a yang tree before, but it is an arbutus, which is a in the strawberry family, actually. So then the Wu tree, I have no idea. I have no idea what the Wu tree looks like, but there are trees that are Wu and Yang, and then my name is Pei Ying Mary Yang Wu. So don't call me Mary, please. Do call me Ying. I love the word Ying. My mother called me that as I was growing up. She called me Little Ying my entire life, but I have been paying to my friends. So, Yang Peiying would be my Chinese name, just to let you know. I hope you have a great day. I hope that Lady Jen has provided you with a lot of good experience, information, wisdom, something you can use. You can plant. What's the word? Trans. Uh, uh, Span it onto your own lifestyle. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay, old Kinderhook. Bye bye.